Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
All right, this is Memphis Mark coming to you from Mullet Manor. We're going to do the review for NXT on 8/1. That's right, August 1st. And they start out, of course, with the general recap from the Great American Bash. Go through everything to explain. And then we have Tony D and Stacks rolling up to the studio. And they get jumped. Okay, Gallus gets out. Or gets them when they get out and just tears them from pillar to post. Tony does put up a good little fight there for a little bit, but man, can't even come into work without getting jumped on. But, of course, they're going to go from there to a Jacy, Jayne, and Lyra, Valkyria match. And before the match, Jacy, Jayne jumps on, goes over and grabs a headset from Vic and kind of smacks him a little bit and pretty much says, watch what she's going to do. She's going to finish it. That's what it was. She's going to finish it. So, of course, they get into the match, and, Jacy's going to jump her before the bell, and, the ref's got to go in and see if it's okay for them to get the match started. And, of course, it starts, and Lyra is selling. Man, she's selling, and Jacy Jayne controls most of this match, and does a pretty good job. I'm not the biggest fan of Jacy Jayne, but I got to say in this match, she controlled the match good. She made it look good. It just seemed like both of the ladies were, maybe it's some Great American Bash hangover or whatever, but it just seemed like they were a little off. Their timing was a little off, but a good match. Lyra with those kicks, man. She is, what they can say, educated feet. Well, she's got some major kicks, and and it's just amazing that they could take an armbar tie-up like Jacy Jayne did, and an old school move, and make it look good. It's just, and Lyra talked a little smacker during the match, so. Was pretty good. She gets to get on and get a big splash on Jacy Jayne and pulls out the win. But a pretty good match, I cannot complain, my friends. And then from there, they're going to go a little promo with Trick and Mello, and pretty much Trick is kind of saying that, he's tired of being maybe the sidekick. And he doesn't want to be the, what did Booker say, Kato. He didn't want to be Robin to Batman anymore. So it was kind of interesting. He said he's not breaking up the band, but he wants Dragunov. And I kind of liked the little promo they did. Trick saying, he wants to be his own man. So good little setup. I like the way it was done. I kept thinking that he was going to look over to the belt and say that he wanted a shot at the belt. But that's coming. But from there, let me see. They got Tony D and Stacks in the training room. And, Tony D pretty much comes out and said, there is, that he's going to get payback, for this. And he calls out all three guys. And Stacks is like, whoa, wait a minute now. There is three of them and two of us. And, Tony says he's going to make a call. So, we'll see what happens with Gallus in a 6-man tag. And then you got Rhea and Dom coming out, Dominic Mysterio, and they get on the stick for a while, and she's explaining how Dominic is the man, and and going through that he's the greatest lucha libre, and that's going to bring out Dragon Lee. And Dragon Lee comes out, and I think Rhea calls him a Rey Mysterio Jr. And well, Dragon Lee says that Dom's got, that Rhea has his kahunas in her purse. And, of course, she comes back with they're still bigger than yours. But good little comeback, and so, they're going to set up a match, of course. And Rhea lets him know that, hey, I will be in Dom's corner. And he's like, cool, because I'm going to have somebody in my corner. And, well, here it comes. Rey Mysterio is going to be on NXT next week. And I'm really liking the influx of the guys coming in and girls coming in from the main roster. It's really, I think, getting more eyes on the product, of course. But it's just really, changing the flavor up a little bit. I kind of like it, putting a little spice on it, a little kick in the roux. So I like the way that's going. So anyway, we got, after that, wait a minute, the crowd did start hollering or clapping, "That's your daddy." So crowd was pretty good in that sense right there. And then they cut a little promo with Wesley and Mello. And Wes is coming in all hot and ticked off. And Mello, Mello kind of cool, just laid back because, he is him. But he comes in. I kept thinking they were going to get into it right then. But they're saved by that from Noam Dar and Mensa coming in and talking smack. Going back together, so you know what that is. That be a challenge. So they get into it a little bit, have a little scrubble, and then they've got a little promo with Thea and Chase U, and she's just out of it. She's really ticked about the towel, and then Corbin comes in and explains it to her that maybe little girl, this isn't the job for you. Of course, which is going to make Andre, Mr. Chase U, stand up, and we got a match a little later on because of that. And then they go to Eddie Thorpe, the modern-day Native American out there kicking it. I like his style. I like his look. This match wasn't his greatest, and he's going against Dijak. I'll chokeslam you. It's just everywhere I turn, he's trying to chokeslam somebody. But yeah, they, Eddie kind of looked, some of his punches looked kind of weak, on this. And, cause Dijak's going to try to chokeslam anything that moves. That's continually, the theme of this. But is it some more of that Great American Bash, hangover a little bit? They weren't, everybody's there, whether they're on TV or not. So I don't know, the promos and all the stuff that they do leading up to it, I don't know. But Eddie Thorpe looked pretty good in this match. Dijak, of course, controlled most of it. But Dijak towards the end, he's a tall drink of water anyway, but he kicks him through the second rope. Eddie Thorpe's head's through the second rope, and Dijak is on the floor. And he kicks him. And that sends, of course, Thorpe back into the ring, and he goes in, does a big move, and Dijak takes the match. But Dijak, I haven't been real high on him lately. He looked okay in this, except for all the doggone choke slams. Eddie Thorpe, great entrance, sold some. Not his best match. But where are they going to go with this? Because, man, there was a time that his whole stick could be really big in the WWE, and I hope they take it that way. I mean, he needs a lot more grooming and getting him ready, because, look at Dijak's needing grooming, and he's been up to the main roster, so maybe we'll see something on down the road. Yeah, and then they've got Tony D. He's finally making that phone call, and he gets somebody on the phone. We don't know who it is, and they come to an arrangement. So he says that that thing that consider it squashed. So you do this favor for me, I do this favor for you. So they do that, and then we have the Dana Brooke and Miss Jordan little spot. She gets her time, and she was talking about how she felt when she had the kendo stick in her hand. It took her to a darker side. And Jordan, of course, tells her she's a baddie, a freaking she's a killer. Okay. I guess they're gonna do something with her. They're giving her mic time. So, all right, then we got Leon and Feroz against Lopez and Vice, and this match surprised me. I expected a total fix you a sandwich match. No, not at all, folks. Not at all. I saw something I'd never seen. Saw improvement out of people. I mean, I was really kind of shocked in this. First of all, Leon and Feroz, they looked pretty good. And of course, Lopez and Vice Lopez is a great heel anyway, but I didn't know a lot about Lola Vice. And man, she looked good. Her moves are good. I kept expecting the worst, and I was surprised. Vice really, really impressed me. Some great kicks, some good moves, a little saucy for the saucy side of her. Looked pretty good. And Leon and Feroz, they keep getting a little better and better. And I thought they, they showed themselves up pretty good. So, I don't, good match. And hey, go back and check it out. It was entertaining, and it's I'm shocked. I'm shocked, guys. I just expected bad, but anyway, it is a pleasant surprise, might I say, and I'm glad, and I hope nothing but the best for him, and we will see in upcoming weeks, of course. And then we have Tiffany Stratton. They got to give the champ some time. Got to give her some time, and she's doing a little TikTok video or whatever there, and she's saying the little girl there that Thea pushed her as hard as she could. She was amazed and how good Thea was, but of course, the champ came out on top. So cannot complain. Normally I don't like the little TikTok stuff or whatever like that, but this one wasn't that bad. This one really wasn't that bad. So I'm not going to complain on this one. But you're going to have the next match is going to be Wesley and Mello versus pretty much Metaphor, because they're all there. You got Jordan and Lash Legend, and of course Mensa and Noam Dar. So, and you expect it to, you kind of think of where this is going to go. They got Wesley and Mello. It's a pretty stacked deck, so you kind of expect one side, but Wesley and Mello aren't on the same page. So keep having some problems. And, of course, Metaphor, they looked okay. A big lash through a punch and looked pretty good. She, like she was going to throw it, I believe it at Wesley. And he moves out of the way, but I liked it. I mean, a little aggressiveness out of Lash. And Jordan gets up and blocks. I think it's Wesley coming off the top, the typical stuff. I mean, wishing the old days the ref would have, called something. But anyway, it's just the way they do it. I guess it's getting everybody some TV time, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. But Noam, he looked okay. Mensa looked pretty doggone good. He's every time I've seen him, he's looked good. So. And Mello looked great, but Wesley just looked a little off like he was supposed to. And the match went about like I would expect it, but I still expected Mello or somebody to pull it out on the end. And it didn't happen. Wesley goes to do one of those big cardiac kicks or whatever it is there, and Mello, for some reason, pushes the guy out of the way, and he gets kicked. And, of course, that is leading to the downfall. Noam gets to do that supernova move, and he pulls off a big win for him. But it's going to cause controversy with Mr. Lee and Mello, Mr. Hayes. So, I can see a match coming up. I think I smell what they're cooking on this one. So, and then we got Braun. We got Braun Breaker getting a little time, and he uses his time wisely. He does a real good heel little promo about Von Wagner. I mean, he takes him down. He takes him down through there. He calls them soft. Says his daddy was soft, and says he's pretty much that picture of him with that scar that he's going to leave him worse than that. So a good little spot. Not a Paul Heyman on what was it, First Take yesterday morning or this morning, saying that Bobby Heenan was dead, that he was the GOAT. And that was a statement made there, but I have to say this was a pretty strong one, and he pulled it off good. Braun looked pretty good in that. And then, of course, they got to get a little bit more time for Rhea and Dominic, so they're trying to leave. Then Axiom comes up because Dom had said he's the best luchador now, or the greatest, and so Axiom comes out and takes homage with that and the Rey Mysterio, and then Dom's going, he's back again. And Axiom's like, it wasn't me. It was the other masked guy was here earlier. So I like the little play on words there. I like that. And then Ali comes out and busts in. So they get to, Axiom and Ali get to arguing. And there again, Dom and Rhea do the old wise classic move and just back away. Let the other guys fight it out and live to fight another day. And, of course, Axiom feels disrespected. Ali says he's been disrespected for 6 years. So, voila, we have a match for next week. Not a bad little setup. I can't say anything bad about that. But then you got your Baron Corbin going against Andre of Chase U. And, Baron in the Great American Bash, the crowd kind of didn't hate on him like they normally do. And there was times that he's, got kind of had a few of the crowd behind him. So in this match, of course he's going to be overpowering and everything like that. But when they show Thea, she is just like when you made your kid go to church on a Sunday and they didn't want to go. I mean, just matter, just lifeless, let's just say it, the thrill is gone. The match is going pretty much like you'd think. Baron's controlling it. Chase has his flashes. They do let him get his teachable moment in, kind of. And, but Thea, lifeless Thea, Corbin gets Andre in a single leg crab. So the refs over around Andre checking to see if he's going to give, and Baron is facing Duke and Thea, and she throws the towel in, getting a little something back. But Baron catches it and throws it back out, goes in, puts a couple more moves, and then it's end of days, and that's the end of the match. But I kind of like the little twist there. They got a little promo with Roxanne showing her, going to the Great American Bash. Apparently her and Davenport had a little scuffle in the airport. So, I'm hoping that turned out better than Don Callis's Mexico venture getting hurt. Which Don Callis there? I hope you feel better, sir. So they just follow her through a good little promo. And then you got Tyler Bate doing a little promo, and he comes into the Fox's Den to Metaphor and just kind of confuses everybody with his coolness. And somehow he accepts a match that he was never really offered, but they have a match. So, Tyler did pretty good in that one. I kind of like that one. Okay. Yeah, Tyler's so cool. He's got to wear shades. Okay. They go from that to where Schism is having their root meeting. I don't know, but they're having a meeting trying to figure out who was it that turned on them. So they've got 6 or 8 people there, and they go all through, and they kind of whittle it down to 2, and they go, "We knew it. It's the Creed brothers." And they pull the mask off, and it's not. And about that time, the Creed brothers come up on the screen with this terrible green screen picture of them in some beach setting. And he changes the background in a flick, to the ruins in Greece and just Fiji Islands or wherever it may be. And I gotta say, Julius looked jacked in there, man. Brutus had the cream on, all the extra sunscreen. But Julius looks like he's been steadily in that weight room, and they keep saying that, hey, y'all beat us, we're out. So it couldn't have been us. No, couldn't have been us. And it's kind of like in the old days, they used to have a loser leave town match, and somebody would come back under a match. I've seen it from Dutch Mantel to Dusty Rhodes, and they come back and they make the person want to have a match to let the person back into the territory back in the day. So that's what they're cooking up on this one. And then Cora Jade, she flips out. Says that, you're going to miss me when I'm gone. But she's saying she's out of there. She can't believe she lost to Dana Brooke, which I agree. And, she's just had it up to here. A good little spot there. But then we're coming to the main event. The main event. And it's the Gallus boys. The Gallus boys, all of them. Both the Coffees and Wolfgang against Tony D and Stax and their mystery partner. And the Gallus brothers come out for their 6-man tag. And Tony D and Stax comes out. But who is it? But Santos Escobar. A little old NXT coming back to show a little love. They had a good little feud there towards the end, so smart choice. And of course, Santos is going for the U.S. title against, the big man next, at SummerSlam. Good little choice, and the match is pretty good. Santos doesn't get in there that much. It's mainly Tony D and Stax in and out, and then, of course, you're going to have to pick one of them to take most of the majority of the match, and that's Stax. So they beat on Stax for a while, and then finally Santos gets a hot tag, comes in there, and look, Tony D looked good in this match too, but Santos comes in there looking good, clears them out. And then at one point in time, they're all down, and Gallus is down, and Tony D fires them up and says, "Let's go," and they all charge each other and get back into it. And the guys end up knocking, I believe it was Wolfgang, out of there, and then they get him up for the bada bing, bada boom. And that's the end of the match, my friends. Tony D and Stax, and they are the champs. So if they're gonna lose them, it's probably not going to be on TV, but I could be wrong there too. So, but yeah, you think everything's about over, and then I notice, hey, there's a couple minutes left here, and Well, it's Trick again. And, well, this time it's Dragunov talking about Trick. And they come out with the cool little, Dragunov is kind of like now warning him, you want me, you're going to get me. And he's going to really, expose him. So I liked the way it ended there. I thought it looked good. I thought Dragunov did good. They set it all up with Trick. So, I mean, I'm not going to say this is just a knockdown show, but I'm going to tell you it's worth going back and checking out. I liked just about everything in it, and I think there may have been a little Great American Bash hangover a little bit, but, I'm not throwing my body around like these guys are and having to go through that. So I could see it happening. So it's setting up something good for next week, So that's all you can ask for, folks. And they're getting ready for SummerSlam. So everything will kind of start off with everything, with both sides, I think, after that. So anyway. All right, guys. Well, that is pretty much the way the show went on August 1st here. And as I said, go back and check it out, and we'll be looking forward to what storyline is coming up with Dominic. And now, Rey Mysterio next week. That's your daddy. So we'll see how they go with that. And are we going to have something with Wesley and Mello? So, an upcoming match in that, or a good turn. I like a good turn, they're in a tag team or something, a good turn. But anyway, all right, guys, we'll go ahead and end it now. But if you can, help the shelters out, foster, rescue if you can, and always spay and neuter, guys. And this is Memphis Mark, and hey, have a great one, guys, because I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.